Well, hi there. Welcome to BSF Recovery Team. We're not in the shop today. We're going on a parts hunt for the Snowcat. We have a couple of local salvage yards that don't really categorize or catalog anything, so we kind of have to look. So we're going to the first one, and we'll see what they have. It's a crapshoot. Don't know. So we'll see when we get there. We're on the hunt. So I'm told that 37¼ inch shaft is the one, and it was used in 80 to 88 heavy-duty maxi vans, Dodge maxi vans, single rear wheel. I'm not sure if that's all that it came in or what, but we're on the search for a 37¼ inch Dana 60 rear axle shaft, 30 spline, conical seat. So we're here at a salvage yard, and they got a lot of vehicles here, but we're not sure if they have any maxi vans. So we're gonna look. Well, look at this. They got what's left of a Wrangler. We'll have to keep that in mind. Oh, there's kind of a cool old tow truck there. Wow, that's kind of a cool old winch, but not what we're looking for. We found another Jeep Wrangler Rubicon. With a stick. We'll have to keep that in mind. Well, I wouldn't say that was a waste of time, because you don't know if you don't go look, but it's a good thing it was a local yard and not very far away, because they didn't have what we needed. If you want to see this off-road wrecker competing in Matt's off-road wrecker games, March 19th through the 21st, we have to get out to Sand Hollow, Hurricane, Utah. If you want to see this wrecker compete with the Utah boys and other wreckers from all over the country, yes, they're bringing the wreckers back. So you can be a part of that by supporting us, buying our merch. There's package deals, both the Red Wrecker and Blondie, because we're planning on bringing Blondie, running or not, to the wrecker games. It's a package deal. It's a shirt, a hoodie, a can koozie, bumper sticker, signed autograph cards from us, and order yours today. Link in the description of the video, or go to our webpage and order from there. We hope to see you there, but if not, that's all right. Subscribe to our channel so you don't miss any of the videos. Okay, we're back in the shop. We have to put exhaust manifold gaskets in here. I'm thinking about taking the whole thing off, because these nuts have a tendency to get stuck on there. You need to heat them up before you take them off, otherwise you break a stud for sure. So I'm thinking about taking it all the way off, but I see that I have the dipstick tube here, I don't know that I took it all the way off before or not. I don't know if the dipstick tube will come out. We're gonna give it a try. There we go. Okay. Well, this one's cracked. So we're gonna have to get another manifold. Or we could get some headers. More money. Well, that one's not cracked. Well, I guess that's put on hold until we figure out what we're gonna do. Well, I guess it's back to wiring for a little while. So now we got to figure out where to mount the ECM. Thinking we mount it right here on the firewall. That would be good. That would put it almost 4 feet above sea level, well, above water level. We made a bracket to hold it right about there. And it should wedge in behind that. So right about there, I think that'll work. I can't see. There we go. Let's see if that slides in. And it does, but not without loosening the bracket first. And I don't know if it will with the wires hooked up. But that's the games we play when you're trying to rebuild a truck with components that it never had before. Anyway, while I'm working on this, why don't you check out a small recovery that we did the other day when we were on our way to town. It's a windy day and we found one in the ditch, so we're gonna pull them out.
welcome. Thank you.
Well, we didn't actually get the vehicle being pulled out. It was actually awful cold and windy out there, but you get the idea. Okay, now we can put ECM connectors through the hole and the wiring. Well, that was pretty easy. The recovery, not the wiring. There, that's where our ECM is going to mount, and we have our throttle actuator control module, our attack module plugged in. We'll have to figure out where to mount that. We have our ground wires. We have to ground those, probably to the body. And then we're going to have to create a body ground to the engine ground. We have our two power wires to our ECM. And then we have our ignition on wires to the injectors and to the coils, all the pink ones here, and the sensors, and then our purple wire to our start circuit. So we still have to run a power wire from here to inside the cab. We have to hook up our alternator wire, and we have to put a ground wire from the body to the engine. But our nightmare is getting less. It's smaller and smaller. So, I think we're done with the wiring again for now. I don't want to overwork my brain. We're going to move on to something else. Check this out. So, we have an oil cooler kit from maxpeedingrods, an online automotive company that sent us an oil cooler kit. It's kind of a generic kit, but we're going to mount it in Blondie here for the oil cooler. I think, actually I was looking at this kit and I'm thinking this might be a good thing for the Red Wrecker too. That way I could put a regular radiator in it. There's something to think about. Anyway, because the engine in Blondie already has an oil cooler, we have to figure out how to adapt these hoses to the oil cooler lines. We're probably not going to use this. And this is a shroud setup to direct the airflow into it. I don't think we're going to use that either. I think we're just going to use the cooler and the hoses and mount it in front of the radiator. Thinking we're going to mount it right here, provided we have enough room on the grill. Yeah, let's go get the grill and make sure. Oh yeah. We'll have plenty of room. We'll have our holes come through here. One up here, one down here. Oh, there's two holes in there already. Probably not large enough though. Okay, so We need an angle bracket to come off of there and off of there, and then some off of here. Okay, so we'll bend it there. Okay, and we'll make another one. Okay, I suppose we better figure out how much distance we need for our elbow and drill our holes so we can make sure that we don't rub our lines raw. Looks like we need 2.5 inches. Well, that's gonna put it right about there. That'll put our lines in the right spot. Well, we'll drill the holes. All right, something like that. And we'll have to mount, we'll have to make an upper mount. I know we're gonna have a tranny cooler over here. So I'm thinking a whole bar across would probably be the ticket. Narrow, thin bar. So we don't block too much airflow. But that'll have to come at a later date. Right now I want to get these holes drilled and get the fittings through. Well, I know that's an awful big hole, but I don't want the lines to get pinched or rubbed through if we dent up the sheet metal or flexing off-road. Well, that's one. So 8 to 8 1/4. So 8 1/8. Put it right about there. Well, it looks like my calculations were off a little bit, and we should be over that way. Another 1/2 inch or so. Well, it looks like we're going to re-drill these holes. Okay. Well, there, after in and out for a dozen times, we finally got it in the right spot. We got plenty of clearance back here where the lines come through, and we should be able to make a bar that comes across and anchors the top of our oil cooler. But I think that'll have to be another day. It's getting late, I'm getting hungry, so thanks for watching, BSF Recovery Team. Keep wheeling, be safe out there, and maybe we'll see you in the woods. Time to go to the house? Have dinner? Okay.